Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. This morning we have Vonda Gaynor, the coupon queen, here in the studio with us today to tell us how to save some money, as usual.
Yes. Today we're going to talk about having supplies or stocking up on supplies if you have pets because it's hurricane season.
Okay.
So, and there are actually coupons that come out for pet food, but for somebody that doesn't or might not have coupons, you can use rewards, like if you shop at a drugstore. So everybody knows by now that I have a grand cat.
Grand cat, that's
grand
right.
cat.
Yes, you're
Yes, but I got 20 cans of wet cat food for Prince Oliver, and I paid 61 cents because I had rewards.
Prince
You're
Oliver, an aristocrat, huh?
Yeah,
All right.
he is.
An aristocrat, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I got 20 cans of cat food because you never know if, will I be able to make it to the store? And also people wipe things out the minute we hear that a storm may be coming.
There's always a
gone.
rush to the stores. And plus,
Yeah.
you may live in one of these neighborhoods that, that flood out.
True.
Or you
and
may
mine
be,
does.
Yeah. You may be near a neighborhood that floods out.
Right.
Maybe some of the main arteries that get you to the store are going to flood out.
Yes.
And you think about yourself, water, canned food, flashlights, things like that. But sometimes you may forget about your pet.
Yes.
So stocking up on pet food is probably a wise idea to do.
Exactly. And kitty litter and PetSmart. Or any store, but PetSmart specifically, start looking at your receipts. PetSmart prints coupons out at the top, the very top of your receipt. A lot of retailers do it at the bottom. They do it at the top and take advantage of those coupons to prepare for your pets. Because that would, I'd be so sad if something happened and we all had food and then my animals
They're looking
didn't.
at you.
Yes, exactly.
And you wind up having to give them people food and...
Yes, give them one of Preston's ribeye steaks.
Oh yeah, that's a pampered cat right there. Oh, I was talking about Preston actually. No, but no, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, ribeye.
Yes, but you can use coupons. There are ways to offset the cost for your pets so you're prepared in case something catastrophic happens.
Did you say catastrophic?
I did.
I could have sworn I heard you say catastrophic.
You're rubbing off on me, Don.
Well, Prince Oliver is in good hands.
He is.
He is, and I know you're shopping for him now.
Yes, I
Using
am.
your coupons, using your rewards. The
Yes.
drugstores like CVS, I have a little rewards for those guys as well.
Yes. And that's the best.
Yeah.
You know what? CVS is also the best place to stock up on water with your rewards. So that's another thing, and that's something, dare I say, that I'm bad on. I drink water on a regular basis. I can't keep it, but that's something I have to stock up on, and I use rewards from CVS to stock up on my water.
I know when hurricane season starts, Karen doesn't get like the cases of water. She'll get the big jugs of water,
I
because
do.
it's cheaper.
Yes, it is, and she's smart.
And she is.
She is. She's a smart shopper.
Yeah, she is. It's starting to rub off on me too.
Yay.
Vonda Gaynor, thank you so much for coming on the show and getting us smart on how to, take care of our pets during hurricane season and do it frugally and thrifty.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks again, and we'll be right back after your Waking Up with Don weather. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with a very special guest by the name of Shane Johnson from Booyah Mortgage. Shane is a prior Marine. You don't say prior Marine. You're
just a Marine, period.
You're always a Marine.
Yes, sir.
Whether
Every
past,
day.
present, future, you're a Marine.
You got
forever.
it. Yes, sir.
Which is good. You belong to an elite brotherhood,
We like to think so.
And, oh, by the way, a little parental bragging right now. My son, who's in the Naval Academy, is now on his summer cruise. And he's like, oh, Navy, summer cruise. He must be on a boat. No! He's at Camp Lejeune with the infantry. Yeah. Is that what you did when you were?
I actually was stationed in 29 Palms.
All right, very cool.
Yeah,
that sounds
and it's not very cool. It was interesting. They trick you. They send you to Palm Springs first.
Yeah.
You're all excited. You're from a small town. You're like, man, this is going to be great. And then I end up in 29 Palms the next morning and realize, what did I do?
So the whole condo thing they told you about wasn't
Yeah,
true?
no.
Yeah, condo on the beach.
Right, exactly. They said, man, you know what? You're gonna get a big sign-on bonus. You're gonna go wherever you want to. You're gonna see the world. 29 Palms.
29 Palms.
Yeah.
Well, but you did your service to your country, and that's the important part.
That was the best part about it.
Yeah, and
Yes,
you
sir.
belong to that brotherhood for life now.
Forever.
And which is kind of like your business model now with Booyah Mortgage. Now, the name's very unique, Booyah, because it's kind of a military deal.
Yes, sir. I pulled it from URA.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Marine Corps has its own signature and brand. I wanted to maintain that, but
Mm-hmm.
I developed the company Booyah, one for the exciting name and the emphasis on the fact that we're veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
Yeah, and not only that, you cater to veterans quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It is our primary focus as a company to focus
Mm-hmm.
on hiring vets as well as helping vets with their financing needs on mortgages.
Because I know we've had Shelley Calloway on the show before,
Yes, sir.
representing Booyah from the Shelley Calloway team.
Yes, sir.
We do our little Booyah,
Yeah, bump.
every time, the fist bump. And she's explained quite a bit to me about how VA mortgages can work. I mean, to the layman, you think, oh, I've got a certificate of eligibility, and now I can buy a house with next to nothing down. And you think once you use it, you're done with it, and that's that. But there are a lot of different little ways to use that, aren't there?
There
it's
are.
It's a flexible, more of a flexible program than
It's
people
the
think.
best program and the fastest growing program on the market. If a veteran's not using it, they're not doing it right. The key is, I think, where a lot of people run into problems is that lenders really do not know the VA guidelines, and that's the key. You have to make sure that you know the VA guidelines. You have to understand them in and out, and then provide that service along with it. And I think it's easier. Probably the hardest part about being in the military is the transition period.
Sure.
When we get out, it's hard, but we relate to other military, no matter what branch of service. So when you call us and you work with military, we can speak the same terms. We understand what you're going through. We understand the transition process. We understand, what direction you need to go into, and then, we study the VA guidelines forwards and backwards, and we help you in the right direction. Even if you don't come with us, we still want to take the opportunity to help you with another lender. If you stay with them and you say, Shane, hey, you know what? Can you just help me and make sure I'm getting a square deal, or that they're telling me the right thing? I do that probably 2 or 3 times a day with other
At
vendors.
no charge.
Of course not.
So anybody can give you a call and say, hey man, here's what I'm up against.
Yeah. It's what we call covering your 6.
Yeah, absolutely. If somebody wants to learn more about Booyah Mortgage or more about you, what do we need to do?
Just go to our website, www.booyahmortgage.com.
All right, and we get the phone number and contact information there.
Yes,
and if
sir.
you're a veteran out here who's watching this right now and you're thinking about home ownership, this is the guy to talk to.
You got it.
Thanks so much for everything you do for our veterans, Shane, and you guys are welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Laura Nelson from A-List Accounting, and we're talking about small business and how you should pay yourself.
Yes.
Or not pay yourself.
Exactly. So basically, as a small business owner, you have the option to pay yourself, and you have several options to pay yourself instead of just payroll kind of thing. So, but the main thing is as you pay yourself, you want to make sure that you can afford it.
Yes. Minor detail.
Yes.
You can't pull more out of a business than it can stand, actually.
Correct.
Because it'll just collapse under its own weight. I mean, that's
Exactly.
that's just basic,
Yep.
Common sense, isn't it?
Yes. So I mean,
But maybe for some people it's not.
well,
Obviously, it could be a problem, if you're like pulling all this money out and not putting anything back
yeah,
in.
because eventually you won't sustain. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to fail. But yeah. So I mean, if you start out you think you're worth $50,000 a year, but your company just can't. As a startup business, it just can't afford to pay you. So therefore, you're pretty much going to take a pay cut or nothing at first, because unless you have some capital backing you to sustain it, ideally, you would grow and be able to pay that back / pay yourself, continue.
So as a startup, you got to count on not making money for a while, really.
Correct.
Or making very little.
Correct.
And have some sort of other income stream to sustain you, maybe a working spouse or a retirement or something like
Right.
that.
But that's what motivates you to work, to be that entrepreneur, is because you now know you need to survive.
You got to work harder.
Yeah. So I mean, you're going to focus more on your business. You're going to get things going, make that sale. So I mean, it's just a process, and if you want to pay yourself because you own a business, that's not going to make that business last.
And that's the beauty of capitalism too, is that you will work harder to make it work.
Right.
And I don't know what the statistics are, but I've heard 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, most
Same,
businesses fail within that time span.
Yes. Yep.
And for a variety of reasons. But there's resources out there that can help you, put your business on track, aren't there?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, between the marketing, I mean, there's your normal business procedures, I mean, that'll help. And then mainly, I mean, a company can, you can't pay, you may not be able to pay yourself a salary, but you can take a draw if it's there. It may not be what you want, but it's, a little bit to help on your own side, because you got to take care of your own expenses, personal expenses. But I mean, you can get a loan, and that's where the capital comes in to sustain. But I mean, you got to pay that loan back. So I mean.
But I guess the main thing is you really have to have respect for the harvest. In other words, you've got to plant the seeds, you've got to nurture your crop, you've got to, to put it in farmer terms, it takes a while to build that. I mean, you're not going to be an overnight success. I mean, that's very rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you start a business and it just takes right off.
Yeah.
Most people have to, I mean, right place, right time has a lot to do with it.
Right.
But sometimes you got to slog along for a couple of years
Correct.
before you start to be able to make a living out of that.
2 to 3 years. I mean, so you got to, especially the first year, you got to anticipate that you're going to do without, and you got to be able to sustain.
Yeah.
Ideally, the rule of thumb is if you start a business, you need to have a year's worth of salary saved up. And then if you're going to hire anyone, you need to have that salary as well, or at least capital of that amount, to withstand a year in order to get going.
Yeah. Don't I know it? It can be punishing. But it's always good to have a good consultant or someone who's smarter than you to help you along the way, like Laura Nelson from A-List Accounting.
Yeah. There are many options out there, so I mean, they just get with their accountant and see what they can do.
And if you're a veteran,
yes.
I mean, I just went out to Small Business Administration and found out about the VBOC,
exactly.
the Veterans Business Outreach Center.
And they'll help you.
Yeah, and they did.
Yeah.
And the Small Business Development Center,
Yes.
We've got
And
that
they'll
as
help
well.
with businesses,
I mean, there are a
yes.
lot of resources out there, but you do have to have the capital
Correct.
to have a startup. You just can't show up with a handshake and a smile.
Correct.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Laura Nelson, thank you for that sound business advice. And we'll be back again with you next week, I suppose.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Heather Noyes from Raymond James Financial, and we're going to talk about retirement and what it takes to retire in relative comfort, I guess.
Right,
I mean, there's a lot of things as you age that you start thinking about that us young, spry fellas don't think about every day.
You're far, far away from all
I'm
of this.
hoping, yeah. Are you kidding me? One foot on a banana peel, the other one in the grave. But at any rate, but as we age, we really have to start thinking about retirement and what it's going to cost and how to get there.
And one big piece of the pie as far as the cost of retirement is your living condition, or your home, where you're going to live. And of course, everybody always says, don't put me in a nursing home. And so I wanted to share some other living options that are out there and give you an idea of what they cost and what you may need to plan for, or get an idea for yourself of what you're willing to do or places to live. Because a lot of times people say, leave me in my house. I want to age right here. I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere. And that's fine and can be actually successful, but some things that you need to think about if you're planning on aging in place, as we call it, is the cost of healthcare. If you have to have healthcare come in, that expense can be actually one of the most expensive options out there once you get to 24-hour care. Remodeling the home. Some of it may be minor renovations, like putting in, handrails and things like that. But some of them can be major and can be very, very expensive.
I not to interrupt, but that's what I do. This is my show. I get to interrupt.
Right.
No, but we went through all that stuff with my parents who are quite elderly. My mom just passed, but we had to put a chair lift in so they can get up and down. We had 2 chair lifts in that house.
And that's the other thing. Most of the time, homes aren't already ready for that type of living. So you had to put in chairlifts because you had.
And they wanted to stay right there in their house, and there were a lot of modifications, and so far as bathrooms and things are concerned, for them to be able to, live their lives.
Sometimes this is not, it's hard to put a value on this at all, but is the family dynamics as well. So I know you said your sister, they have, she doesn't live in Panama City, but oftentimes I see this where there is one child that's taking care of the parent that lives here, and the other ones are off. So there becomes this resentment issue that they're always taking care of the parent, and the others have nothing, to do with it, and it becomes, can become a burden within the family. So.
Yeah, so you got to plan for that.
Right.
And you want to stay you know, people want to stay independent. And you talked about, oh, don't put me in a nursing home. But there are other options, I mean, than the old stereotypical nursing home.
That nursing home, that's what we call skilled care, which is you're definitely at the end of your life cycle, and those are about $7,000 a month. That's the national average.
Wow.
There's the 55+ independent living facilities like the Villages, where you're perfectly healthy, but people want to kind of go and have some kind of organized activities, have restaurants, and different things that they can do. The next step up is something we call assisted living, which we have a couple assisted living facilities around here. They're around $3,500 a month, which means you might need some minor help, or you don't necessarily need help. You're pretty healthy, but there is a 24-hour care that's available to you.
And some of those are quite nice.
Yeah, and you still have your own apartment. It's usually a one-bedroom apartment with a bath and things like that. Something that I think is really neat is a continued care retirement communities, which means you can start out in your own home, and then you can progress over to assisted. They have assisted living facilities on site, and they also have skilled care facilities on site as well. So you can go live there and begin to, as you age or need different levels of care, you can progress to those different levels.
Because the older we get, the more we're going to be seeing our doctors. And everybody knows we're going to die. And so everybody thinks about life insurance. People don't think about long-term care insurance either. And is that something we should be considering as well?
Oh, absolutely. You should have some sort of long-term care insurance, which would cover your skilled care, some assisted living, and some home health care. But also making those decisions before you need them, I think, is important, so the children don't have to make those decisions for you.
And a good place to start would be to sit down with a financial advisor and make that plan. In particular, Heather Noyes from Raymond James Financial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Allison Smith from Life Shots.
Yeah.
What is a Life Shot? I see you have a box here that says Life Shot on it.
Yes, we have two products.
Yeah.
We have a meal replacement and a packet of super vitamins here.
Super vitamins. Now, when I want a Life Shot, I usually go for the Don cup with coffee, and that gives me my little shot in the morning. How is this different?
You know, this is actually all the vitamins you need in a day.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, then many of us, for example, about a year ago, I was taking 4 or 5 vitamins a day. I now put it in a bottle of water, and I shake it. This is a powder. You just drink it. The fabulous thing about these two products and why I support them, and I have been using them and will use them forever, they're all natural. There are no words that you cannot pronounce. You don't need a chemistry degree to figure out what's in your product.
I had a hard time reading this thing. That's chiseled coconut. Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate. 7 vegetable servings per scoop, which is amazing. 20 grams of protein. It's a full meal. It's like eating a small steak with a little baked potato and a salad.
Is this a drink? Or
yeah,
is this,
you put it, it's a powder, and you put it and you drink it.
And what about this stuff? What is this? These
This
are
is a
drops?
powder.
That's a powder like that.
There's 10 of these in there. You put it in a bottle of water and you shake it.
So this is a meal replacement?
It's a meal replacement. It's not your typical protein drink where you just get protein.
Well, you don't do 3 meals a day with this, right?
You can do 1 or 2. Some
Okay.
days I do 2, but I do 1 every single day.
But I suppose you have a balanced meal somewhere in between.
Yes, but this is a balanced meal. This is not only protein, this is some fat, this is some sugar. These are calories. This is actually a meal replacement.
How does it taste? He says in his best infomercial voice.
It tastes like chocolate ice cream.
Soylent Greenest people. No,
Now, actually, I tried numerous products over the years, and I started doing this. I wanted to lose 10 pounds last year, and I actually passed my 10, and I lost 20.
wow.
And I've kept 20 pounds off now for about 6 months.
And you're still doing this, though?
I love it. This actually, I was doing, like I said, 4 or 5 vitamins a day. The multivitamin, the B12 that dissolved under your tongue, the fish oil, the vitamin C. It's all in here. And the great thing about it is it's all natural. There's gluten-free. It's completely vegan, so there's no soy, there's no animal product. No GMOs, which GMOs should really scare all of us.
I don't even know what that is.
Genetically modified organism.
Now I'm
I'll
scared.
tell you all about it. 70% of the food items in the grocery stores now have GMOs in them.
Wow.
So this is completely GMO free, which is fantastic. So many people now have gluten issues. It's totally gluten.
That's true.
It's totally gluten free. No caffeine, no artificial sugar. There's nothing synthetic, which is fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Genetically
great.
modified organisms.
Yeah,
I'm still stuck
yeah,
on that one. Is
it's-
that like big fat chickens that can't carry their
Well,
own
yeah,
weight
they
with their
put-
little skinny legs, or what?
Yeah, you know, there's no way a chicken should go from an egg to what is it, like a
Full grown and
yeah,
several
jumbo,
weeks.
yeah, bread, and yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, the average pork that we get in the grocery store, they take from a piglet to a 270-pound pig in 90 days.
Wow.
That's some hormones.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah,
is it
so
ever.
we really should
Yeah.
be concerned about what we're eating. And this is the reason I'm completely happy and thrilled to be involved and have found Life Shots, because it's not, like I said, read it, go to your vitamin drawer or your vitamins you take. Read the ingredients. See how many words you can't figure out what they are, you can't pronounce, and see where in the ingredient list. It's mostly all filler these days. Some of even the expensive vitamins that we buy at the store, you think you're getting the better brand, and it's mostly filler
If
product.
we want to try this, Allison, what do we need to do? Do we need to call you?
You
or?
can email me, or you can go to my website,
Okay.
Allie, ALLIE, PCB at yahoo.com, or lifeshots with a Z, .com/PC Beach.
Okay, very good. Allison with Life Shots, thanks so much for bringing this on the show, and I'm going to have to try this.
You will.
We'll see you next time.